Hello everyone, it's been a while since I made one of these videos, but I'm back and I'm going to start off it right with the most important topic, money. Everybody wants to make money. There's no denying that. Now here's the thing, people want to make money but they don't understand how the money is made. So there's three keywords you've got to remember. Number one, product. Number two, service. And number three, skills. Now without these three words you cannot make money. Now product is something that is tangible, something that you can touch and feel, and something you can sell. Now, in order to create product, you need skills skills and resources, or you got to have the money to be able to hire people who can create that product for you. Let's say no matter what product you want to create, whether it's a car, it's a shampoo, it's a light, it's a camera, it's a phone, or it's anything. So in order to create a product, you've got to have the money and the skills. And if you don't, well, then you've got to have to be able to hire people who can make that. Now, let's talk about service. Service is something like a lot of us are in the service industry, in the fitness industry, okay? Now, we offer services of coaching services. Now, in order to provide services, you've got to have skills. So the important thing is, when you're young, you don't have a lot of money. So it's very, very difficult for you to create a product because, as I said, in order to create product, you need to have a lot of money. Often you need to have a lot of money, and if you don't, then you can't really create any products. So one of the biggest Achilles heel, one of the biggest problems for a lot of young people is, coach, I don't have the money, what do I do? So if you don't have the money, then what you've got to focus on is, when you are young, you've got to focus on skill acquisition. Skill acquisition is such an important part of your life. It is such a powerful tool, especially when you're young. So if all the 18 to 22-year-olds or 25-year-olds, or even no matter what stage you're at, if you don't have money, you got to have skills. And sometimes you don't you might have missed the opportunity to sort of acquire any tangible, any powerful skills when you're young. So if you're 30, 35 and you're stuck in a rut, you lost a job, you sometimes have to come up with some amount of money to acquire a new skill. But let's say you have no money, you have internet access. Everybody has internet access these days. So if you have a phone, you can acquire a ton of new skills. So if you went on Google and you typed in, let's say you wanted to become a graphic designer, you wanted to learn video editing, you wanted to learn any skill on Google. There are so many courses, so many things you can learn for free on YouTube, on Google. There's so many platforms out there. So there really is no excuse for you to be able to acquire new skills. So my advice to anybody who's looking to get going, they're stuck in a rut, they don't have any money, you've got to go back to the drawing board and you've got to start acquiring new skills. And as I said, if you're a young guy, if you're 18 to 22, definitely, those are the time periods up until 23, 24, 25. You've got to invest your time in acquiring as many skills as you can. Now, I'm not saying like you start going and doing every second, third, fourth course, but what I mean is, you've got to have 2 or 3 different skill sets. Like, let's say if you're a coach, then you might want to learn graphic designing, video editing, because all those things work in synergy. So if you're a coach, you've got to be able to advertise your services. So if you want to advertise your services effectively, then you need to be able to make good flyers, edit some videos. Let's say if you go to a gym, you want to shoot some videos of yourself, training your clients. And if you know video editing, if you know graphic design, you're not relying on somebody else. You're not having to hire anybody to edit those videos for you or make those flyers for you to advertise your services. So if you're a young guy, definitely focus on skill acquisition. Let's say you're in your mid-20s, mid-30s, mid-40s, you lost a job, you haven't got a whole lot of money. Again, you've got to go back to a drawing board. Sometimes you need to upskill yourself. You might have finished your graduation 20 years ago. You might have done graduation something else, like might even be IT. But for a lot of IT guys, they are smart enough, they know you've got to sort of continuously keep upskilling yourself. That the programming language which you used even 5 years ago is probably obsolete now. So if you are in that stage, you've lost a job, you don't have any of the skills, What do? Guys, again, I cannot emphasize enough, sometimes you do need to go back to the drawing board, acquire new skills, and people go, okay, I have the skills, what do? I can't get a job. Sometimes you have to go out there and for a little while offer your services for free because you need to get your foot in the door. So if you say, a lot of people are like, oh, what's in it for me? You got to pay me before I do something for you. When you're coming from a position of weakness, you can't really strong arm people in giving you or paying you money or paying you a lot of money, especially if you haven't proven yourself, and especially if the other person, if the somebody who's hiring you, if they have options, they are under no obligation to give you a job. So the only option you really have is if you're not doing anything, if you're sitting at home and you lost your job, you're killing time, so you might as well try to get whatever opportunity you can. So let's say you reach out to somebody and say, hey, look, you guys do this, you guys make flyers, or you into advertising business, this is what I've got to offer. Let me show you I don't want any money, just give me a chance to do something for you. So if you create good product for them, if you create good content for them, then guess what? If they start gradually relying on you, if they start to feel the need of you or your services, then most people, after a while, they will offer you something. If your product or service that you're offering is of quality, people will eventually pay you. So let's say you've done free stuff for somebody for a month, month and a half, 2 months, then you can say like, hey, look, I understand, you might not need me, but I cannot continue doing this. I've got to pay my bills as well. And if you talk to people tactfully, respectfully, most people will actually start paying you. If not, then at least you've given your best shot, and you can move on to the next thing. But having this excuse that I have no money and what do? Well, if you don't have money, you've got to find ways. You've got to be creative. That what can I do to actually generate money? And the only way you're going to be able to generate money is you either have really, really good set of skills that you can create good services or products from it, or you have got so much money that you can go and create something, launch a product. Let's say if you've got lakhs and lakhs of rupees from your previous jobs, you might go and create a protein powder, you might go and create gym equipment, or you might go and open a gym or something. But if you only got few thousand rupees in the bank, then in that case, it might just be the best thing to do is to go and do your research and see where I can invest that money to learn the next set of skills. Like for instance, there's quite a bit of money to be made in financial sector. You could become a trader. There's so many courses on the internet for free. So if you learn trading, if you learn the stock market, if you're good with maths, if you're good with numbers, there are infinite number of stories on Google, people who've gone from rags to riches. They were stuck in a 30K job and they didn't know what to do, but they happened to be good with numbers. They were good with finances, those kind of things. And then they said, you know what, I'm going to learn. And you can learn these skills part-time, and then you can start investing or start working for something. Maybe you might go and get a job as a broker somewhere, as an agent. There's so many industries like insurance industry, healthcare industry, there's finance sector. I had a guy come in yesterday. He was working for Bajaj Finance, signing people up for credit cards. And this dude was barely like year 10 pass. He was 10th pass. He was making 40, 50K. So I think what's happened with a lot of youth is you're boxed and you're not thinking outside the square. As I always say, the money is out there, but you've got to be proactive. You've got to think outside the square. Get on YouTube rather than just watching stupid memes and vines, which really have no value to your life except you get that momentary laughter or that happiness. But is that really going to pay your bills? So if you stop wasting your time on shitty content and you actually started consuming quality content, that could take you a long way. So my advice is, guys, if you can understand these three words: product, service, and skills, and you can go a long way, But my advice is, if you're a young guy, or if you're out of your job and if you're not happy, then the only way you're going to start making money, or only way you're going to sort of get a promotion in your job or get a better job, is if you acquire new skills. If you don't have anything substantial to offer to your employer or to your new employer, they're not going to hire you, they're not going to promote you. If you just keep offering the same set of skills every day, they've got no reason to promote you. They've got no reason it's very hard for you to go get a better job with a better pay. So hope this video was worth your while. You take some good points out of it. If you enjoyed it, comment below. Anything else you want me to make a video on, let me know. I haven't made one of these for a long time, so if I feel I'm a little rusty, but we'll get around to it. And one last word of advice. People always say, like, you know, how do I go about this? How do I go about that? You have all these inhibitions. You're going to have all these challenges. If you see at the start of this video, I was very rusty. But the rustiness is going to be there. The only way you're going to overcome that rustiness is by actually doing it. If you don't do it, if you are, you know, if you just keep thinking, I have to be perfect to do it, don't wait for perfection. When you start, focus on progression. Perfection can come later on. So focus on progression. That means just do it. You know, get out there, put yourself. People always say, I want to do public speaking. I want to get in front of the camera. Just get in front of the camera and do it. You know, as I said, you know, if you look at the first 5 minutes of this video, they're pretty rusty. You know, I'm not something I'm proud of, but hey, what I am proud of is getting it going, you know, doing it. Be authentic. You know, if you screw up, you screw up. Like, as I'm owning up, you know, you got to own up. If it's not perfect, it's not the end of the world. But hey, guess what? If you are doing it, if you're giving it a crack, you're still ahead of everybody else who's just sitting on the other side of the camera and just having a bitch, having a moan, and having a go, oh, look at him. You're still better than them. So stop waiting to become perfect. Stop waiting for a perfect moment. Get out there and just do it, man. It's as simple as that. That's the best advice I can do. Stop thinking, stop worrying too much. Stop thinking what somebody's going to think about you. You know, like, hey, they're not paying your bills. Until they start paying your bills, you don't have to worry about what people are going to say. People are always going to criticize. People are always like, look at him, he kaise bol raha hai, ye kaise bol raha hai. How does it matter? It doesn't matter. So my advice is get out there and do it. And hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you in the next video soon. Thank you and bye for now.